Hello there. Ready for another round with some nonsense commentary from the game that most assuredly belongs inside of a filthy container because of bad behavior. WeirdShady here. Spider-Man, possibly the best Marvel superhero to ever be featured in movies, animated series, and video games. I remember playing Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2 when I was a little small boy who had no social skills whatsoever. But damn it, I could play games. I played a lot of games and I loved superheroes. So superhero video games were the perfect way to go. But as time went by, I understood that most of these superhero video games were movie tie-ins. And movie tie-in games are almost never any good, especially when you go back to them now. But I do remember that these Spider-Man games were really good. I kinda realized, though, that Spider-Man games has never been that great. I mean, in gaming, I'm mostly sure about it. I have tried a lot of them games that be about Spider-Man. On the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, not so much, because some of them looks really bad. Some of them are indeed better than others, of course, don't get me wrong, but more than often they do indeed fall short in many areas. Some of them don't get the swinging right, but this one did. Some of them don't get the fighting right, but this one did. Some of them don't get the voice acting right.
Where's Cage and his search party?
But this one absolutely did.
If people I love are going to be in danger, then I need to be there to help them. Now what?
And the game franchise that does nail this to a fault is indeed the Insomniac Spider-Man games. After these games, Insomniac became a common name again in gaming. They were really big when the Ratchet & Clank games released on PlayStation 2. You know, PlayStation 2, the prime time of gaming. Or at least in my opinion, because I love the PlayStation 2. It's also fair to point out that it also can't go wrong if the Prince of Persia himself, the 10 to my Ben, the amazing Yuri Lowenthal. He plays the OG Spider-Man, and he's perfect as Spider-Man.
If you are disagreeing with me, then I will come down and hunt you, my friend.
Fun fact, Yuri Lowenthal also acts with his wife, whose name is Tara Platt, who plays Yuri in the game, and she acts with her husband Yuri, who has to call his wife Yuri? It's confusing, yeah, I know. So basically, his wife gets him to call her by his own name. It's so weird. Anyway, this game's creators really did their homework when it comes to what the older games didn't get right. And they sure as hell were gonna fix the things that wasn't right. Spider-Man is the best of the best, the game franchise that continues the Batman Arkham franchise's legacy when it comes to gameplay, storytelling, and such, because the Batman games sure as hell ain't gonna do it for some reason. And since Spider-Man has the best stories and the best villains besides Batman,
They have my permission to borrow the best formula around.
not that my words has any influence among them, of course. The similarities are indeed actually quite big. Both the Batman Arkham games and the Spider-Man games have the same type of fighting gameplay. They both traverse in a big open world. They have all so many villains to take down at the same time in both their game franchises. Another thing, which is cool, because both Batman and Spider-Man is the two heroes that has had their origin story told over and over again. So these games actually get that correct as well, because in both these game franchises we have a crime-fighting baddie that is about 7-8 years into their crime-fighting career. I absolutely love that these Spider-Man games has an older Spider-Man that's actually in his mid-20s.
Gone are the days when he be in college but looks 30. He be in high school and looks 30. Or in high school again, but this time he looks slightly close to 20.
I don't know. The point is that we have an age-appropriate Spider-Man that's not even close to getting his origin story told again. With his uncle dying again, we can move past it, get on with the action, so to speak, get thrown into a story that already has some lore, and get the chance to figure out what has happened and what hasn't. Here comes a brilliantly smart and grown-up Peter Parker that already had his fair share of blisters and insecurities. He knows the difference between right and wrong from the get-go. But I have to say, I really do miss his old face model, though, from the PlayStation 4 version of the games, because people these days only play the PlayStation 5 games. I miss his old face model, because he looks so good, he looks so great, he looks amazing even. He has the perfect "I'm experienced with both web slinging and smacking criminal ass for 8 years" look to him, and still be a young adult who looks like a model with money issues. It's a whole thing within the fandom. I won't start on it.
But wait a minute, I just gotta...
Because I can't justify it for being relevant, since many in the fandom are enraged by this decision to change the face of the Peter and the Parker. So here is my opinion on it, even though no one asked for it, or cares, but it's my video, so... The original face looks like a combination of the oldest, the middle, and the youngest child. That gets most of the attention these days, because of Tom Holland, you know. But back in my day, we had this junky hunk of a man that does not like cameras for some reason, even though he sure does like to take pictures of himself from time to time. Now, the Peter Parker we got in the PlayStation 5 remaster and the following games just looks more like a 15-year-old boy, like Tom Holland does in the movies. Even though this man is supposed to be in the middle of his 20s, but I guess not. But I get the reasons for why they changed it. This new face is designed to be more accurate and better for the performance capture and the facial animation. Trust me, I do get it. The new face does look good, no doubts about it. He can be a handsome lad from Queens that got bitten by bugs and get hugs, you know? But in my opinion, the original face looks perfect. He looks perfect! And I'll stand by my point to the day that I die. I mean, to be honest, they could have made this face look good on the PlayStation 5 as well. I have no doubts about it. Even the modders has already done this to almost perfection, but it be what it is. I do respect Insomniac games for sticking to their guns by not listening to the nitpicking that would otherwise maybe often make game developers change their minds. Like it happened in a movie called Sonic, but that's another genre of entertainment. Anyway, to continue my point here, the Spider-Man games that Insomniac has produced shows that superhero games can be fantastic, because they haven't often been. It really shows us what talented and passionate creators can make if they get the opportunity they need. Marvel couldn't ask for better creators to carry their Spider-Man IP. Quick review here, just to get everyone up to speed. The first game, Spider-Man, is a great game that does Spider-Man justice. The swinging is amazing, the action is top-notch, the story is so fun, yet emotional. So emotional. The second game, Miles Morales, is an amazing expansion on the base game, but it is released as its own game. The story is shorter, but it's more focused. Not the same stakes, perhaps, but a more personal go-around with Miles. He warms up for the next entry, so to speak. I love it. I love it. It even has snow. A true Christmas game, if you ask me. And here comes my final destination. Enter the new Spider-Man game. Spider-Man 2, The Return of Bully Maguire. Or something. This is a spoiler-free, so don't worry. I'll only spoil some things that's in the trailers before the game released. So tread carefully at your own risk, thank you very much. The trailers to Spider-Man looks amazing. The game feels amazing as well to play. I beat it some time ago, in fact. The story is bigger and better than the last two games, and I'm all here for it. both my roommate and I had our jaws dropped 40% of the time.
And it is glorious!
I do have my small things that I don't like here and there, but it's mostly nitpicking. My biggest problem is that Miles didn't get enough screen time. But be aware, he does have much, just not as much compared to Peter. But the question is, did they do Venom some proper justice? Because let's be honest here, in the PlayStation 1 game, he be naughty. In Spider-Man 3, he be this weird thing. And Tom Hardy is good, but not quite there yet. And also, you can't really do Venom as a character without Spider-Man to rage quit and tear off the slimy gooey stuff and let the drip onto the next guy. But when it comes to this game, Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5, exclusively, I can honestly say, indeed they did. That and even more so. I won't spoil it for you, but it'd be a doozy. Gameplay-wise, it's bigger, it's better, it's wetter. The swinging is faster, there's more speed-related slingshot moves included, and also gliding. That works wonders. A little bit hard at first, but so fun to traverse and explore afterwards. You do indeed play as two Spider-Man. You can also switch between them at almost any time. They have varied fighting moves and swinging animations, so they do indeed feel like two different characters, which is a good thing. I chose not to spoil anything in this video because you have to play them. You just have to. Please.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams.
And of course, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you have a great time afterwards. And perhaps not so long until next time. Perhaps maybe my babies. I'll stop now, yeah. But I hope you remember, Spider-Man does whatever a spider doesn't do, because that's silly. Fare thee well for now.